Just waiting a pause before we go down to that start. There it is, there they are, the crew sitting on the start, 2,000 meters away, helped by a little bit of stream, helped by a little bit of wind today, but not a lot. A Japan crew not widely experienced at this level, facing an Italian crew on the next door lane with Simon Ranieri in the bow seat. You can see him on the right hand there stretching his arms. World champion in the Coxless 4 in Sydney, second bronze and silver medals elsewhere, and a great servant of Italian rowing. And next to them, the United States crew, Troy Kepper, Matthew Hughes, Patrick Sullivan, Brett Newlin, and Marcus McElhenney as the cox, also coxing the 8 this time round. Next to them, France, and outside them, Canada, Todd Kesey, Daniel Kakaska, Ryan Slate, who appears more British than Canadian, having been at the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst. Dan O'Shaughnessy in the stroke seat, Stephen Cheng, a graduate of Cambridge University in England, at Cox, and Germany, Tony Seifert, Matthias Flasch, Johannes Duberschütz, and Falk Müller, coxed by Martin Sauer. So they've not yet been called over. They're sitting there on the start, waiting for the exact moment to come around, and the starter now calling them over. All the starters qualified FISA umpires, as are all the officials, course officials, for a regatta at a world championship level. Clean start across the field, but it strikes me that the French, Nicolas Podovitny, Vincent Durapt, Johnny Mathis at 3. There's a break from the grave. Lionel Jacquiot at stroke, and Nicolas Majerus. They got off quickly, but we've come in on the Japan crew over in lane 1. We may not get a lot of them later in the race, as they're already half a length slipped back, but it's anybody's race in the first 30 seconds across the main block of the course, with perhaps only, and strangely, the Italians, with the vastly experienced Ranieri at bow, slipping back slightly behind the pace. That's the US crew there, stroked by Brett Newlin, 6 foot 9 inches. If you can fit him into a boat, you've probably got, you can just reach to the finish, hardly needs to row at all. 6 foot 9 inches in the stroke seat. They should have a nice long stroke, and so it's proving, because they've got canvas in that black Resolute boat out on the field at after 1 minute of rowing. France there next to them, stroked by Lionel Jacquiot, with Johnny Mathis at 3. So United States and France, they're setting the pace here. USA crew, there's that 6 foot 9 incher fitting himself in very nicely. Crew sloping away down towards the bows. All of these guys, first international, Patrick Sullivan in the 3 seat of the US crew, 19 years old, at his first World Championships. Half a length on France, the United States back to Canada in 3rd place, very close behind them, Germany in 4th. Leaning correctly into his blade, fairly wide grip there for Newlin. Inside arm not doing as much work as it might on the blade when it's that far down the blade handle, but it's obviously what makes him feel comfortable. France, 37.5 strokes to the minute. Jacquiot not really reaching out, and that could be the difference between the French crew in 2nd place and the United States in 1st. The United States a longer reach forward, a better sweep, better use of their leverage. The United States won this event on several years, a couple of years ago. Luke McGee in the stroke seat, former Oxford oarsman, won it very comfortably in I think it was Milan in 03. Strong crew that. This is a strong crew too. Almost a tradition for the United States to take the Cox 4s. Not an Olympic event this, so no opportunity to turn it into Olympic currency, but a good strong event with Powerful entry. Sullivan in the 3 seat behind Matt Hughes, slightly older at 24 in the 2 seat, and Troy Kepper at bow. Those first, the bow pair, Kepper and Hughes, and their first internationals, obviously, as with Sullivan and Newland. So novice crew, experienced Cox, Marcus McElhenney. There, the grandstands filling up. It's 9:30 in the morning now. The regatta started at 8:30. It's been moved forward an hour and a half in order to cope with potential wind later on, but at the moment the wind is entirely benign, gently tail, blowing these crews along with the help of the stream as well. It's less stream than we had early in the week, but it's still significant. And the race has, exactly as we saw earlier on, settled down to the pattern. United States leading a good length up on France. No need for them to throw any fireworks into the show at this stage. Canada in 3rd place. Italy close behind Canada in 4th, and they will not expect Simone Ranieri, Paolo Loriato, Sergio Canciani and Marco Resimini will not expect to go without a medal here, particularly Ranieri, one of the stalwarts of Italian rowing. France closed a little bit. I accused them of rowing short compared to the United States, but they've taken half a length in that third 500, and as the United States leads into the last 500, it's 1.3 seconds the lead, down to half a length from a full length. Still rowing nicely, still rowing long. He's just got to have a little look across. Brett Newlin. His Cox is looking across to see where the French are. That's McElhenney. He's calling those United States oarsmen to watch the French and move with them as they go into the last 300 meters of this Coxed Fours final, on the first A final of the last day of the World Rowing Championships. And the French have closed, 250 meters to go, less than a canvas in it. Can the French pile this up? They're shorter, but there's a nice rhythm and it's punchy, and it's obviously saved energy earlier on, and they're having a look across there. Lionel Jacquiot looking across to the United States, and it would appear that France has taken a couple of feet lead going into the last 150 meters. France leading the United States in both these two crews, miles clear of the rest of the field. United States hanging on, but not able to come back on France. France now stretching out that lead, raising the rate, and coming in half a length clear of the United States. 41 strokes a minute the French got up there. They're settling it down now. They've got this in the bag. France first, gold medal to France. United States second, silver medal. Germany through for the bronze medal, just scraping in ahead of Canada in 4th place. And the Italians sadly out of sorts in 5th, and Japan close behind them in lane 1 and in 6th place. But a very, very finely judged race that by France. In 2nd place all the way, slotted in behind the United States. It looked like the United States might have broken contact early on, but France hung on in there, and in that the 250 meters was right in the third 500 closed significantly on the United States, and in the first 250 of the last 500 did just enough to come back in front, and or to get in front rather, and lead the race for probably only 150 meters until they crossed the line in 1st place in 6 minutes 2 seconds .42, and with the United States 1 second behind in silver medal position. Germany taking bronze medal, 3.5 seconds off the leaders, and with Canada very close behind, 0.13 of a second off a bronze medal. Canada, they'd lain in 3rd place from 500, 1,000, 1,500, all those 3 markers they were in 3rd place in a bronze medal, but the Germans swept through and took it by 0.13 of a second away from Canada. Italy in 4th place, out of sorts, a further 11 seconds off the leaders, and Japan 16 seconds off the leaders in 6th place. So, France, world champions in Cox 4. A very new crew, Lionel Jacquiot, almost all these people in their 1st or 2nd international, no great experience there, but enough wit and wisdom to make sure that they could take this win. Lionel Jacquiot, 21 years old, and no World Championship experience before this event here. A couple of gold medals in the Junior World Championships.